were supposed to be here last year, but I tell you what, it's quite difficult travelling from prehistory to now. You sometimes get within sort of 12 months. She's here now.
Thank you.
Xena, Princess Xena, warrior woman, of course, Lucy Lawless, and Renee O'Connor.
Thanks for having us, Bob.
Oh, it's fantastic to see you. Now, you two do realise that you are dicons. You are icons to the dyke community around the world. How did it happen?
That was my slogan. You pinched my slogan. How did it happen? I suppose it was inevitable, wasn't it? That two women.
We dress like this usually, and so we just kind of.
We fitted the piece, yeah. But no, I guess it was inevitable because two women travelling through time with no visible means of male support, and I think just the lesbian community gravitated towards that.
That's right. And the thing is, with Xena and Gabrielle, there is a little bit. Am I wrong in thinking this, and the girls wrong in thinking this? There's a little bit of unresolved sexual tension between the two characters.
Well, we will neither confirm nor
We're
deny.
going to discuss that tonight, though. Were we really?
Well, have you got the same shoe size? That's what I'd like to know. Do you ever share?
Do we share shoes?
Do you share sabers?
No, but I think they're past toothbrushes, and they're past toothbrushes in the relationship. No, she's not allowed to touch my weapons.
Yeah, I try not to. It's a bit tempting sometimes, but.
So when you settle down in the forest for the night, it's a two-man tent. Are you going to tell me anything?
Well, I don't know, Bob. That's right.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here, and there's a lot of people excited. Girls, have a look at this, the Bobby Goldsmith Foundation.
Who's Bobby Goldsmith, Bob?
Bobby Goldsmith was a leading figure in the Sydney gay community, one of the earliest people in Sydney to die of HIV. The BGF was formed in 1984, and Bobby, of course, was a gay game sporting star. He died from AIDS in 1983, one of the first people to do so in Sydney. It's the longest-running registered HIV/AIDS charity in Australia.
Very good.
This year, BGF has over 1,300 volunteers just for the Mardi Gras season, on which the organisation completely depends. In 1998, over $500,000 was distributed to over 1,000 clients.
Stunning. So how do they collect that money?
Fundraisers, donations, and cake stalls, trying to keep their visibility high.
That's wonderful. Who have we got here?
Sex is hot.
Face sex is hot.
Positive sex is hot sex. People living with HIV and AIDS in New South Wales. Blowing off.
Have you just found that everything you say tonight sounds like a lewd joke? Everything sounds rude.
You can't help it.
Oh, there's bosoms on the screen, Bob.
Two volcano structures with lights, smoke and music and people in each mouth. People are pushing the volcanoes and carrying the flags. Now, what are you two guys up to next? Are you in the middle of shooting at the moment?
We are, actually. It's your average day of, warlords and Amazons and,
How did you develop Xena's amazing warrior call? That's what I want to know. Is this this thing that happens to girls growing up in New Zealand?
That's right, yeah, it's your only defence, Right. No, that is a bastardised version. Whoops. What's happened? This is a very discreet little system, isn't it?
We
should use this on the show.
We can do a Madonna concert. Yeah. Celebrate. How did you develop the call? Was it your thing?
It was
it someone else's
bastardised
thing?
version of an Arabic women's call. They'll do it at funerals and protests, and it's an all-purpose cry, really, Bob.
Renee, where do you think the relationship's going to go in future episodes of Xena?
Well, let me just think about that for a minute.
I
can't tell you.
I think there's a schism coming.
Is there
There's always a schism coming.
Yeah,
Well,
Tension's always so
on top of an ambush
titillating.
and another battle.
Yeah.
See, that sounded kind of rude. Everything sounds rude.
It does. Look, well, absolutely. I'm just trying to be... Exactly. It's true, isn't it? I'm intrigued, though. What era exactly is it set in? I know you're running around the forest in New Zealand, but where are you? Where are you in time, and who are the mythical creatures? Where are they from?
Well, roughly speaking, we do. They live about... In those days, they lived 200 years or so. And she met not only Julius Caesar, but Jesus Christ, or
Mary, the Virgin Mary.
John Cleese.
So they were well connected. They knew them all.
Yeah.
They did.
Running around the forest.
And those two guys were like 200 years apart, I think, but somehow they managed.
Seriously though, how does it feel knowing that you're lesbian icons and that you're fantasy figures for lesbians all around the world? What's the feeling like, knowing that?
I think being here has just been so exciting. Just to join part of the celebration. For me, especially, it's just been
I bet they
a
went
real
mad
treat.
when they saw you coming up to our little hut.
It's your lovely little hut. No, it's good. I've never had a problem with it, and I would hope that the show would go on to be, you know.
The show
that-
couldn't be
that-
huger
Do you think?
with the gay and lesbian community and with everybody else, of course. Here's the quilt. Oh, gosh. This is, again, such an important part of the parade, girls. It's the...
The remembrance quilt.
Right. There's the quilt, though. The Australian AIDS Memorial quilt being carried.
We've really been blown away by this. Such a failure of imagination. I never dared hope that it would be this good, and I'm really kicking myself that I haven't come before.
It's huge. You got so close last year.
We did. We had our tickets and everything.
You had a late
and
shoot.
We were in a water tank.
We were filming underwater, and we had a
Submerged.
tank with about 40,000 gallons of water, and it exploded. All the
Believe me.
rivets popped, and
We'd rather be here.
they had
Here's the
100
shopping trolleys, girls. Shell's shopping trolley. This is the community support network. They've got a huge shopping trolley with 30 paper mache goods on the truck, followed by approximately 100 Shirley Purvis lookalikes. Have you heard of Shirley Purvis?
No, who is Shirley
Oh,
Purvis?
Shirley Purvis is a wonderful mother from up the north coast of New South Wales, a character created, a very, very funny character, a bit of a daikon in Australia. The community
and there's a
support...
big paper mache
Absolutely. The Community Support Network provides cooking, cleaning and shopping for people living with HIV and AIDS.
That's right.
It's a part of ACON, the AIDS Council of New South Wales, but it's run as a separate unit, and it's been going for 15 years.
I've got Lisa here from Shirl's Shopping Trolley. Now, I'm an absolute bargain hunter from way back. Have you got any tips for me?
Pat, all we do is we shop for people with HIV/AIDS. We do cooking and we do cleaning. Our tips are you shop for what the client wants.
Oh, isn't that fantastic? The customer is always right, I've been told. But look, I'll see you in some bargain basement bin, baby.
Gorgeous. Happy Mardi Gras.
You too.
Bye.
Shoppers, I love them. Always after a cheap bargain.
Australia's really got its act together in supporting the
It certainly has.
community, HIV
Sydney particularly
stricken community.
has set the lead, really.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Good on
something
you.
that we're all very proud of.
Yeah, you should. Have you at the automat?
Is this a Maryland theme for something in particular?
Yes.
Or
You can hear Marilyn. What sort of reaction do you girls get when you go from different countries? Where would you say the fans are the craziest?
Here. Here, actually.
I'm proud of
It's very
Definitely
cool that
Sydney.
Australia's really embraced the show and the spirit in which it's made. You know, more than anyone. I mean, it's embraced in a lot of countries, but in that jokey, culty, taking the Mickey spirit, nobody does it.
I think they have fun watching the show. And
Oh, here we go. Now this
Who's that?
looks like a promo for a stage musical which has just opened in Sydney, but in fact it's Oz Showbiz Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. It's a big mouthful, that one, but a wonderful group. They're the official HIV/AIDS charity
Oh,
of
yes,
the
it's like
arts
Chicago,
and
I can see
entertainment
that.
industry. It's their... they're doing a number from Chicago. Wow.
that's hot.
Oh, look at your view.
And all that jazz. 60 dancers performing a Bob Fosse number, doing the opening number from Chicago.
That woman just winked at me, Bob. What can it mean?
I don't know, Lucy.
She might have been
I've
winking
got a
at
feeling
me.
it must have happened before. Have you prepared a response?
I haven't. I'm completely flabbergasted.
Again, it's not the official Chicago vote, but rather it's an acknowledgement that the production of Chicago, which is currently on tour in Australia, has raised $15,000 for this charity.
And they were doing that in New York too. I saw it
They
in New
are.
York, and they also had
Magnificent.
attached themselves to an
Yeah,
AIDS charity.
absolutely. Well, you know,
I guess because Fosse.
Bob Fosse,
died.
a great icon. The charity has raised $70,000 in the last year. They recently outfitted the new dementia ward at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney, and this is their second parade appearance. Now that is a bunch of pros.
What are you calling them, Bob?
A bunch of pros. It's Australian for professionals.
Oh,
Like you two.
my mum.
Let me tell you,
Aren't
you
they
guys look quite good on that float in those gorgeous dresses you've got.
I'm hoping to be on one next year. Actually, I've been really inspired. Would you like that, Ren?
Absolutely.
I tell you what, we might try and hold you to that promise.
I do, but I want one of those great big kind of Rio de Janeiro pieces like that. You know, the guy in the very
the cook
beginning, that
bin.
beautiful drag queen
Yeah.
that was wearing that big peacock outfit. I
Yeah.
want something mighty.
Look at this, girls. It's the Smurfs.
Oh, yeah, they look great. Oh, those people. Oh, it's us.
Smurfs
Oh
and
my
Fairies
God.
in both a truck and a walking group.
Where does Smurfs come from?
Aren't
I didn't know that
They're
they
little
were gay
characters.
icons.
Well, they are. There's everything. We just appropriate everything.
There was only
that's
like
camp and
one
fun.
girl.
Look, they're
And yet
felt,
there
they're squishy. We love them. The Western Sydney Haven Inc. is a group of positive people and their volunteer carers. The theme on their float is real people making a real difference. The inspiration, an elderly coordinator, Pat Kennedy, is known as Nana Smurf by the members of the organisation.
I said, darling, you're from the Smurf float. What
Yes.
got you into Smurfs?
Well, we're very unfunded and unrecognised, so we thought we might as well be in Smurfland and Fairyland for all the recognition we get.
Now, what does Smurfs represent?
Well, everybody, all the volunteers and the positive people call me Nana Smith, so we thought we would be the Smurfs.
You're one of those fabulous people who spend your life caring for other people, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know, I get a lot out of what I do.
Look, a lot of people get Nobel Peace Prizes and a lot of people do work and they just do it quietly without too much hoo-ha, and I think Nana Smurf, you're one of them. Thanks for your wonderful support, darling. Ciao, baby. Rock on, sister.
ACON, the AIDS Council of New South Wales.
And this entry is based around being 100% aware, i.e. keeping your eyes open. That's why we have these beautiful battering, these beautiful eyelashes. They're trying to crack onto us with their winking, I think, Bob.
Party Lashes, ordered
Yes.
directly from New
Well,
York City,
where else, of course?
the home of drag, the home of Wigstock. The entry designed by well-known artist and designer Anthony Babici.
ACON is New South Wales peak HIV